Okay, welcome along. Friday session with myself, Shane. Married on YouTube. Great stuff. Great to have you with us. Hopefully everyone's keeping well. Might be a little bit blustery outside. Might get a bit of background noise, so do apologise for that. But hopefully you're nice and warm, and we'll get ourselves warm, if not, through our movement. So as ever, these Friday sessions are taking place in a seated position, a 2 o'clock session. I have my chair, my water, and a nice bit of space to work in. So I'm going to get us pretty much straight into this workout. As I know it's a little bit cooler outside, and I think that's most parts of the world at the moment are a little bit cooler. So we'll just get into it. We'll get ourselves moving and warmed up. And as I'll always say, any movement that causes pain, if I do something that doesn't feel good to you, please do just change that exercise. Don't persist if something doesn't feel comfortable. Okay, so I'm just going to start warming up straight away, getting us moving. So let's go for very simple today, shrug of the shoulders, up and then back down. So just up towards the ears and back down. I'm sitting nice and upright, and I'm just getting those shoulders active and switched on. Okay, it's just a little shrug of the shoulders, up and down. Just make sure everything's okay as I take off. Mary, afternoon, welcome along. And I think we're good on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, next, just going to take a light little shake of the hands. You might notice hands, fingers a little bit colder, or maybe a little bit stiff when the weather gets a little bit colder. From that position, clench the hands and then spread the fingers out. Clench and spreads. Just open and close, but a really purposeful opening of the hands, if that makes sense. Really spread the fingers apart, lots of movement, and then close back in. Okay, so let's bring a little bit of rotation. I'm just going to bring one hand on top of the other. I sit forward just to make sure I have plenty of space. Rotate to the right and then over to the left. Just allow your head to turn with the movement. And you'll see I'm not sitting too rigid to the back of the chair. I just want to have a little bit of space to access here, either side of me. Turning right and left, just opening up. And once more, and back in. Just going to bring the hands up, just going to press straight in front, pushing away from chest. And really just want to kind of roll from one movement into the next. Just keeping it moving, pushing straight out from your chest here. Okay, and then just bringing right hand down towards the foot, and then back up. Okay, so just reach down as far as comfortable and then up as nice and high. Okay, welcome along. Couple of comments there. You're very welcome along, everyone. And swap sides over to the left. And then we're just going to switch it up, just keeping the left foot out, reach across. Right hand over to the left foot. So just stretch across. So just thinking a nice diagonal plane here, and you can place that spare left hand just there for a little bit of support if you want. Okay, and welcome along, Sarah. Okay, if you're watching as well, very welcome along. Swap sides, left hand over to the right foot, stretch across. And again, the hand just resting on the leg here for a little bit of support. Just stretch across. And again, you'll see I'm just trying to keep it moving. As I say, just aware it might be a little bit cooler today. Just want to keep you moving throughout this session, getting that body warmed up. So we're just going to flow straight in. Not really going to hang around with any of these movements today. And once more. Okay, let's bring it into a march. Keep the legs moving. Very simple. Big lift of the knees. Just keep it marching. And then kick the legs out. Just kick the legs straight in front. From there, we're just going to march it out again. And kick the legs out again. And as I return back in, now just step out to the sides. Okay, just open up through the hip, just a nice big step out to the sides. Okay, from that position, just want to start tapping the heels out. Just going to check in with comments, just make sure everything's okay. Just tapping the heels out. Good afternoon. Hey, Joseph, Sylvia, Francis, welcome along. Marie, everyone, very welcome along. Just making sure everything's okay there. And then just opening it out nice and wide, keeping it moving, tapping the heels out. Okay, just return back to the center, straight out in front, tapping the heels. Again, just keeping it moving, keeping ourselves warm here. And then just open out nice and wide. Final action, we'll just focus in a bit on the heels, or the ankles rather. Okay, just going to bring my right foot up. I'm just going to lightly hold on to that knee and just begin drawing a nice big circle with the toes of my right foot. So I just want to get that movement around the ankle, drawing big circles through the toes of my right foot. As full and motion and range as I can achieve here. Change back the opposite way. Nice big circles here. And down. Swap sides over to the left leg. I'm just going to lightly hold my knee. And again, I'm just going to bring that into a nice big range of movement, drawing big circles with the toes of my left foot, opening up through the ankle here. I will then reverse and change direction. And again, just a nice big movement here, drawing with the toes of that left foot. And down. Okay. Now let's go into our first block of work. I have 4 movements lined up, one which will be broken down into right leg and left leg as we begin here. First one, we're going to work the shoulders, just a little bit different today, a little bit different challenge. I want you to bring your hands together and the arms out straight. From here, I want to imagine a number 8, which I draw sideways, okay? So imagine I had a kind of marker here. If it appeared on screen, I would draw a sideways 8. What I want you to do then with your hands and arms is just follow that pattern. So think like a number 8 drawn sideways. And that's the kind of pattern that I want to follow here. So hopefully that looks okay on screen. You can kind of see what I'm trying to do there. Number 8 drawn sideways, and you're just continuing in that pattern of movement so that the arms are out and you've got that nice control from your shoulders. So if you maybe found your shoulders were very tight, so think of a regular arm circle with my arms out, maybe that was very difficult. This could be just a different option, just where we're going to get a little bit of endurance through the shoulders and also that little bit of control and movement. So let's keep it going. And down. Okay, rest down. Next, I want to focus in on the hip. So this is called hip flexion, where we lift the knee. Think when you're climbing the stairs, stepping into the car, anything like that, that action. So I'm going to sit nice and upright. Very simple to begin. I want to hold the side of my chair, lift the right knee up and back down 5 times from the floor, up and back down. And once more. Now, keep your foot off the floor. Instead of touching the ground at all, 5 times up and down, keeping the foot off the floor. 4, 5. You can return back to the floor 5 times up and down. Keep the foot up, and then 5 more, keeping the foot elevated. Okay, so that's how we'll do it. Same action on the left. 5 from the floor, 5 elevated, 5 on the floor again, and then 5 elevated. Keep the body straight. Just make sure you're not bending into this one. That's what I'll say. Hold on to the chair. I always say, imagine kind of strapping yourself in. You're nice and upright. Big lift in the knee, back down. So it's not like when we warmed up, it's maybe a very light movement. I want a good, strong, big lift in the knee here. Now, foot stays up 5 times, keeping the foot elevated. So imagine you're on a pump here, you're pressing down so you're not actually touching the floor. Then back down, 5 from the floor. Again, keep the foot up, 5 more, keeping that foot elevated. 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Now, open up the position. We're going to just a little bit more dynamic. We were very focused on those first 2 movements, and let loose or a bit more freedom with the pace of this one. Reach down, pull back, and then alternate. So my lawnmower pullbacks. I always say, if anyone like me has the old, and as I would say, the proper lawnmowers, where you have to pull the cord. Reach down, pull across. Drive that elbow back. And what I mean is kind of less concentration on this one. Let yourself kind of flow a bit with this one. Move with a little bit flow on this one. That's the best description. Just keep it moving. Drive the elbow back. And you're going in that nice diagonal range. Opening up the body as you pull back. Each time I reach down, I can place the hand on the leg for a little bit of support. I want to go another couple of times here. Just a really nice active movement here. Swapping each time. Maybe 2 or 3 more on each side. And once more. And back down, okay? There are the movements. Let's go again. Let's just keep ourselves moving and warm here today. Nice and upright. Hands together, arms straight. Number 8, and I've drawn it sideways. Imagine it came up on screen. Now that goes way beyond my ability of how we could do that. But just imagine, visualize, there's a number 8, and you were going to go sideways and follow that pattern. A number 8, which is sideways. And it's probably a bigger, longer one this time. So just keep it moving, keep the arms straight, keep the hands together, and I just want you to continue in that pattern of movement. Nice and controlled through the shoulders. Keep the arms straight, side to side. A nice big number 8. And just keep it all nice and controlled. Don't need to go too fast. We just want to keep a little bit of control through this one. And return, okay? So for your next one, we're going to go down to the legs again. Sit nice and tall, nice and upright. Elevate, I'll show from the side this time, just give you that perspective. Lift the right knee 5 times. Good strong lift. Hold on the side of the chair as I lift the knee. Keep the foot elevated this time. And again, 5 more times. Return to the floor, and again, 5 more times. Again, foot elevated, 5 more. And of course, if you didn't like any of these movements, you could change them. I could return flat to the floor here if I needed. Back down. Okay, swap to the left side, sit nice and upright, lift the left knee, return foot back down, 5 times. Now, foot stays elevated, lift 5 times, keeping foot off the floor if comfortable to do so. Back down, 5 times again from the floor, up and down. Keeping the foot elevated, lift up and down 5 times again. And back, foot flat to the floor. Okay, so next one, those alternate lawnmower pullbacks. Again, sit nice and upright. Each time you reach down, you can have your hand on the leg for a little bit of support. So I just reach down, pull back, reach down, pull back. So my elbow goes back, just opening up the body, down, pull back. So as I say, the first kind of 2 movements, maybe very focused, concentrated on those actions. Just move with a little bit more freedom on this one. Let's go 2 or 3 more times per side. And once more. And back down, okay? So moving into the next little block of work. Different couple of movements now. First one, just think of a nice kind of postural movement, upper body. You might feel the front around the chest. And as we pull back, you might feel the back of your body opening up, the back, the shoulders. Different parts, essentially. I always say people might feel different things. What I will say, sit nice and tight again, reset the position. Arms up. So if I look either side, hands roughly in line with my head. So I try not to be down here, trying to be a little bit of elevation if that's comfortable. Bring the arms in, so think elbows towards each other. What I'll see a lot of the time is we just bring the hands. Think elbows towards each other, open back up nice and wide. So in and out. Think like a butterfly motion here. In and then open back out. Just a nice, controlled, very purposeful action here. Close in, open out with the arms. Squeeze in, open out. Let's continue on. Really, I'm thinking of upper body and I'm keeping the arms in that fixed, kind of elevated position. So just get a really good connection. I can feel my chest. Depending on how far back I go, I feel a little bit of activation in the back of the body here as well. And back down. Next, I'm going to work on the shoulders. The setup I want to achieve kind of similar. What I want to do is just bring the elbows out. You see the hands are lightly clenched. And then I want to rotate the right arm up and then the left arm. So let's see how I rotate from the elbow and all ultimately controlled by the shoulder. Just take this one nice and slow. There's some movements I'll say to people, we'll just slow the pace right down and just kind of focus in. And some of them to move with a little bit more freedom. But this is one we just kind of slow right down. Think of your shoulder, the key cog here. Your shoulder is what facilitates and allows all of this to happen. And then just rotate the arm up and back. And once more, and back down. I'm not going to push that one too hard in terms of the number of repetitions. Next, a little bit like I did with the shoulders, but in a very much more broken down sense. Right leg and then the left leg. I want to bring my right leg in front. You can point the toes forward a little bit if that works. And again, that analogy, imagine a number 8 sideways, and I just want to follow that pattern. I'm going to hold on to the side of my chair so there's no movement from any other parts. And what I'm expecting here is a little bit of control, movement through the hip, and that leg itself around the thigh might start to get a little bit tired. It might seem a very simple action to begin, but might actually become quite challenging and tiring as we go along. And you'll see I'm not rushing here. Again, this is another movement that I just slow down a bit. I try and exert as much control as I can through this movement. Let's go another couple of times. Again, as you get tired, as I get tired with this one, maybe that's no longer a kind of perfect sideways 8, but roughly resembling that kind of pattern. And down. Swap to the left, holding the chair, left leg out, toes pointed forwards, and again, I'm just drawing a sideways number 8. Through that left leg, imagining the toes like a paintbrush, and just going in that shape of movement, a sideways number 8. Just slowly and controlled. I'm thinking about my hip, maybe feeling a little bit of tiredness in the leg around the thigh here as well. Let's go another couple of times. And let's go once more. And back down, okay? Just rock the feet forward and back. Just take a little bit of breather, and then we'll go straight into those same actions again. And again, I like to go through them twice. Make any changes. If something doesn't feel comfortable, if something was painful, please do change. And as I always say, even if something just doesn't feel comfortable or right as a movement to you, do again just change the action. So let's go again. Reset. Nice and upright, arms up. Comfortable kind of position, but I'll try not to have the elbows down too low, provided that feels okay. Arms across chest, open back out. And again, I want to think of the elbows towards each other, as opposed to maybe just bringing the hands together. Think elbows narrowing towards each other as well here. Open back out. Just nice, controlled. Probably the same for all of these movements in this little cluster of work. A little bit of control with everything. Cross chest, open back out. Let's go another couple of times here. Let's take 3 more. And 2. And 1. And okay. A couple of seconds, reset. Elbows up about roughly shoulder height, lightly clench the hands, raise the right arm, raise the left arm, so the lower part of your arm moves, and so just rotate from the elbow, but ultimately it is the shoulder that's kind of controlling and allowing for everything to happen here. Just one arm at a time, raising up. Nice controlled rotation from the elbow. Arm up, arm up. We'll just go a couple of times here. And down. As I say, I'm not going to push that one too hard. I know that one can be a difficult enough position to maintain. Just a couple of times, explore that. Might come back to that one again in another session. Right leg out. Again, you might like to, it might just help if you point the toes forward a little bit. Number 8, sideways. And I want to follow that pattern of movement. And I like to hold on to the side of my chair here, just kind of minimizing the movement through any other parts of the body. And I just go nice and controlled, side to side, roughly in that 8 kind of shape, sideways. Hip, really active, good control. Maybe feeling a little bit of tiredness through that right leg. So let's keep it moving. Another couple of times here. And down. Swap sides, left leg, straight leg, toes forward. Hold on to the chair. And again, number 8, sideways. And I just want to continue with that pattern of movement. Really nice, controlled, not too much movement through other parts of the body. Just seeing lots of good control through the hip and that leg very much active and switched on here. Let's go another couple of times. And once more. And down, okay, rest. Just lightly rock the feet forward and back. Just take a little breather. We'll just keep ourselves moving and active here. And I'm going to introduce us into our final cluster or block of work. We have a little bit of hip movement here coming up. We have a little bit of coordination and just kind of one or two interesting challenges to finish up here. So let's go first of all with our hip pendulum. Again, sometimes I don't have a great word for these to describe them, but interesting movements hopefully. I want you to lift your right foot off the floor. Imagine like a block of wood here, and I've just got my knee fixed to that block of wood, so I can't move side to side, if that makes sense. I am fixed in this position. Imagine my foot then. It just goes to the side and then to the other side, but the position of the knee doesn't change. It just enables the foot to go side to side. So like a pendulum, side to side. You could even use, you can see how I just go to the inside of the leg of the chair and to the outside of the leg of the chair, but the position of the knee, it doesn't move. So I'm not going side to side with the knee, it just enables or allows for that movement. But again, I can feel in around the hip here, that's where I feel really active. It's that hip that allows and controls and regulates this movement. Just controlled side to side, back down. I'm not going to push that too hard, just a couple of times, we'll come back to it. Again, keep that little bit of width, lift your left knee, and again, I'm just going to think like a block of wood here that's kind of fixed to the knee, so I'm stuck in this position. All I can do is go side to side. And again, another cue here, as I say, keep this one slow. I don't want to swing rapidly here. Very much on the side of control, just looking to get a little bit of connection with my hip. So I can feel a nice control, connection, that hip very much active and enabling me to perform this motion. Nice and controlled. Side to side. Go once more and out, back in. Okay, very much switched on for that one. A little bit of coordination here, nice and upright, hands together. What I want to do is step with my right leg out to the side and press arms straight up. Same with the left, so just alternate step to the sides and press overhead or high as comfortable. I'm just thinking just up past the head. Just stepping out to the side. So open up through the hip, press straight up. So particularly after that last movement, this, what might seem like a simple action, could actually be quite tiring on the hip after what we've just done so far. And then you might feel your shoulders in particular active as we press here. Now I want you to keep that pattern of opening leg alternate, but now I want to press in a diagonal plane. So I open the right foot, press across, and then through the left. And I just think roughly in a diagonal plane, pressing out. So straight out from chest, nice diagonal plane here. Again, just stepping out to the sides, one at a time. And down. Okay, one more movement here. This will work the shoulders, but there's also going to be a little bit of coordination, and we're going to get the hand involved. This will be a little bit of thinking involved. If we bring our arms out, my hands face down, and lightly clench the hands. I want to open my right arm from front to side. So as I pull this arm back, I want to open the hands of the fingers of the left hand. Return. Open your left arm from front to side, and then open the fingers of that right hand. So as one arm pulls back from front to side, the arm that doesn't move, you open the hand. Now I can start it very slow. Now I can just move a little bit more. I'm not going to rush this one, but I get a kind of nice sync of the movement. One arm opens, the other arm stays, but you open the hand. So you're going to keep the fingers moving. Nice big open. One arm opens from the side, other hand, just spread the fingers apart. Once more each side. And back down, okay? We'll just roll the shoulders back. Take a couple of seconds. We're going to do that circuit one more time. And again, if anything didn't feel great to you there, just make a couple of little changes. Don't persist with anything that doesn't feel good to you. Shoulders slowly forward. And let's try those actions one more time. Okay? So sit tall, right foot up off the floor. Again, just think of that block of wood. My knee is in a fixed position. What I mean by that is your knee won't open up side to side. It very much stays as it is, and it just enables the foot to go side to side. I could actually open up a little bit wider there. So you might find it's more comfortable to kind of go in this inner position, but much harder as your leg opens to the side. Think of that chair, the leg of the chair behind me. You can see the foot just crosses it each time. We'll work in a range that feels suitable. Keep this one nice and slow. And interesting to see, maybe does the hip actually feel like there's a bit more freedom this second time, a little bit more movement. And down, swap, reset. Keep a little bit of width. Left foot again. I'm going to put my imaginary block of wood here. It's fixed in position. The knee is attached. And all I can do is go side to side. That foot goes in and then goes out. But all of that control, the power base of your movement here is the hip. And that's what we're trying to get to here, is that hip control of the movement. Last couple of times. So I'm not pushing this one too hard. I know it can actually get very tiring as a movement. But again, maybe this is one we'll return to and practice again. And down. Okay. Reset. Hands together. Remember where we push overhead. As I open the right leg, push overhead, open left leg. So alternate step to the side and a nice push overhead. Nice and smooth. I feel the shoulders active and that hip active, certainly after the last movement. Just a couple of times more here. Step to the side. Press directly up overhead. Once more, and down. Keeping hands together. Same with the legs. I want you to step to the side, press in a diagonal angle. Just pushing out from your chest. Just a small little swivel or a kind of nice diagonal press. Open the leg and press in the opposite direction. Pushing out from roughly chest height here. Hands are in line with chest. A little bit of movement of the fingers as well. So let's bring the arms out. My palms are down, just lightly clench. As I open my right arm to the side, spread apart the fingers of left hand. Return. Open left arm, right hand fingers. Takes a little bit of thinking. So opening the hand of the arm that doesn't move. And alternate each time. A little bit of thinking here. One arm front to side, stationary arm, open the fingers. Once more of each. And down, okay? Can relax after that one. So let's go into a couple of stretches. Let's cool it down. A couple of nice light movements just for the purpose of relaxing the body down. So very simple to begin. Just going to straighten that right leg out, hold for a couple of seconds, and back down. Elevate the knee, hold for a couple of seconds, back down. Staying with our right leg, same again, just extend, hold for a couple of seconds, back down. Lift the knee, back down. Once more, and lift the knee. Over to the left leg, just extend, hold for a couple of seconds, and down. Lift the knee, and then extend the leg out again. Return and lift the knee. Once more, extend that leg, and lift the knee. Okay, we'll just bring the two legs out in front, pointing the toes forward, holding the position. Spend a little time like this, toes forward, and then the opposite of pulling toes back. I always say maybe to a point you even feel a little bit of a shake in the legs here. Same again, reset, point the toes forward and away. Pull the toes back. And I'm going to go for that same motion once more. Toes point forward and away. Toes pull back and hold. Just hold that position a couple of seconds here. And down. Okay, just reset. Open right leg, couple of seconds. Back in, same to the left. Very much broken down, slower at this point. Once more per side. And down, perfect, reset. Kind of tied in a little bit like the movement we did earlier. Just want to bring arms across chest. Just want to pull back nice and wide this time, so open it up a bit wider. And we're going to just hold. Relax back in. Open up nice and wide again, hold the position. And return back in. Let's go once more, open up nice and wide, hold the position. Open up the front of that body, open up the chest. A little squeeze between shoulder blades. And back down. And relax, okay? Nice and tall. When I do a lot with the shoulders, what I want to do first is just lift the shoulders up towards your ears. And then, as I'll often say, about instead of just relaxing down, imagine you picked up two big heavy blocks in each hand, and then all of a sudden you're weighed down. So you bring those shoulders actively down as far as you can. So I'm holding a big heavy block in each hand and I'm being dragged down. Drop the weight, imagine, and then just lift the shoulders up towards ears again. Again, you're going to pick up those big heavy blocks and just imagine your arms being dragged down. So your shoulders come down, hold. Imagine just dropping the weight again. Big lift, shoulders up towards ears, hold. Grab a big heavy block, and then all of a sudden I'm dragged down as far as I can go. And relax, then I relax the position. Rotation, sit forward, just again, you have space to move. Let's just place one hand on top of the other. Rotate to the right. Just going to stay here for a couple of seconds. And then moving over to the left. Over to the right. And over to the left. And once more in each direction. and back in. Okay, just bring the arms out, close or clench the hands together, and then spread apart. Like we did at the start, but we're just going to hold each position, particularly actually as we spread or open the fingers. Clench, close, fingers in, open, spread apart. Close back in, open, spread apart. We'll just do that twice more. I think a really nice one if it is a bit cooler like today outside. We may not have gotten the snow. I know some parts of the country did, but I think it is cold in most parts. Close, clench, open, spread apart. One more time. Close in, clench. Nice big open, spread apart. And back down. Okay, very simple next, with a little bit of breathing, a little bit of relaxation. Side, rest the hands on your legs, really nice relaxed position. So my back is in contact with the back of the chair, my shoulders relax a bit here. Inhale, bring that chest up and out. And now I've kind of brought my back away from the chair. So there's a little bit of an arch. As I exhale, my back comes back into contact with the chair and I just relax the upper body. Chest up and out. And again. Inhale, chest up and out. Just that gentle arch through the back. Exhale. Relax the upper body and my back comes into contact with the chair. Once more. And rest. Okay, so that's our chair gym for today. Thanks very much to everyone. I do appreciate all the comments along the way. I do check afterwards. Hope you all had a great week. Hopefully you enjoyed the session, feeling good after it. We're back tomorrow. We have our mobility and stretch, and we have a full schedule next week of the 11 a.m. and the 2 o'clock sessions as well. So have a great weekend. Thanks to everyone on Facebook, and thanks to everyone on YouTube for tuning in. Right. Mary Marie, very welcome. Great to have you. Thanks very much.